U.S. intelligence agency, mind control.
Others.
Love
the
that.
14-year-old suspect will be tried as an adult. Both
Fuck
will remain in
yourself.
custody after their lawyers decided not to seek bail. Southern California is sweltering in the peak of a late summer heat wave today, with some places expected to soar above 110 degrees. Excessive heat warnings are in effect until Monday, with triple-digit temperatures on deck all weekend.
Lawyers
It
didn't
fits with
even
the
seek
global
bail.
pattern of
No. What was the gun used? What did he use? AR? Pistol?
AR.
It was an AR.
That's what they were.
And his dad gave it to him.
Yeah.
Epic. Jesus fucking Christ. Rot in hell, cunt.
Now, one of my favorite parts about this is that the shooting happened in Georgia,
Mm.
and then Gavin Newsom passed more gun laws in California where shootings
course he
don't
did.
happen.
Dude, this is
And
exactly what
this
Australia
is
does.
the thing though. The laws he had, I mean, like it's a full AR ban in California. As far as I'm
my
concerned, there
God.
already was one in place. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
more or less, yeah.
Right? And then it was like universal background checks.
Or it's already in place.
Yeah, and then one of the things that I advocate for is raising the age to 21 to buy a gun.
I'm actually not against that. I'm not against it. I also think that every gun should come with a training course.
I also think that like parents.
So for
if
every
they're-
new gun
this was a
caliber
unique,
or type, you should have a training
this was
course
the unique
associated with it.
case where the dad actually gave the kid the gun. But I
Yeah.
think if a gun is used in a shooting, then parents should be held liable.
Yes,
And-
because they should be responsible enough to keep it out of the child's hands
Well, I mean,
or anybody's hands.
Because here's the thing: with laws like in Minnesota, where they said the gun lock laws,
Mm.
where if there's a minor in the house, the gun has to be locked,
Uh-huh.
right? So, like, if your gun is used in a shooting by a minor, kind of shows that you broke the law, didn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does.
that's one way to do it. That's pretty simple. Instead of like,
well, it would more be like a citizen defense thing, like a community watch thing, I imagine.
well, I
Where
mean,
it would be
I like personally the Asayish in Rojava, where it's like the grannies with the AKs, right?
I don't know much about them, but that sounds pretty
Yeah, they're
cool.
public security.
Yeah, okay.
So they're like,
Yeah,
they're
so a good example would be let's say tomorrow America becomes the government collapses, everything's gone, anarchist society, police aren't there anymore because nobody's getting paid. We need security for the general public. What groups are around which are armed and potentially connected to the community that could operate as some kind of community
I don't
defense?
think
It's like
I don't think
gangs
them
and shit, right?
I don't think them having arms is that's the thing is it would turn into a turf war with gangs anyway.
Of course it would, right? Of course it would. But what I'm saying is that if you got ahead of it and somehow were able to coordinate it, which is, it's highfalutin thinking. It's scenarios that would
what I say is
literally
that,
never happen, right?
well, I say, and a lot of people say this, is that the way to deal with gangs and cartels is to legitimize them. And I
Yes.
think one of the ways to legitimize them is by transferring them into security. I mean, if the IRA
Yeah.
can become the functioning government of Ireland, I think a fucking Mexican cartel
Yeah.
can manage it.
Yeah, for sure. But like I'm in more of like a street aspect of it where it is literally not dictated by the state like gangs, right? You could easily transition gangs into community defense things, right? Community policing at if you want to use that term, right? You could easily do that, even if it was just keeping their own, like their own community safe. You could easily do that. They could easily transition into that. Like all the gang stuff could theoretically dissolve because a wider goal is there. I don't know. It's all sort of theoretical thinking.
So,
But yeah, like more or less, I think if it was to happen, how it would defend itself would more be a mutual obligation for safety.
so this is literally Northeast Syria's police, the Asayish, aka ISF, Internal Security Forces. So, formed in the early years, it initially began controlled by the blah blah blah. It had 4,000 people in 2013. By 2015, it had 15,000 members. They're literally the police, right? So the 6 main units are Checkpoints Administration, Anti-Terror Forces Command, HAT. So those are like the special forces. They're part of the police. They're not part of the SDF, HAT,
funny.
the anti-terrorist people.
Yeah, they're internal
Intelligence,
security.
organized crime, traffic, and treasury.
Interesting.
So each sub-region has a special forces command, which is it's more elite than SWAT, though. It's literally their special forces. One of them. There's another one as well. I forgot what the name is. That is military. So they have literally in Raqqa, but like if you look at some of these, here we go. Civilian-led policing. Working towards providing all citizens with training. So all of the citizens in the regional government are going to be trained to be Asayish.
Beautiful.
The ultimate hope is that once the vast majority of citizens are trained, security can be maintained amongst citizens and the Asayish itself can be dissolved.
That's fucking incredible. I love this. That's the answer. There you go.
In addition to the use of weapons, Asayish members are trained in mediation, ethics, and the history of Kurdistan, imperialism, and the psychological war waged by popular culture, and the importance of education and self-critique. Oh, Mao. Yeah, that's the Maoist influence right there. Internal Security Force receive training and equipment from the U.S. Department of Defense, including HAT, who act as the Internal Security Forces, special forces carrying out counterinsurgency operations on high-value targets. Cool. But if we go...
That was good.
If we go in here, like, this is what they look like. But you'll see a lot of them are like older women. So it's like we would jokingly call it the granny police. This is it right here. This is like the typical Asayish that you'll see is this right here. This is they have the Asayish patch.
Love it.
This is the early Asayish.
Baller.
Right? They're cool as hell. But there's also young people.
Yeah.
But you can tell because their covers are a little bit different but they are all uniformed now. But it's this like solid green.
Military sort of thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That guy also, so YAT is the military
hot weather.
one.
Yeah, okay.
Data out today showing it's been the hottest summer ever recorded worldwide. The European Climate Service Copernicus says that puts 2024 on track to be the warmest year observed in human history. Scientists mostly attribute the heat to human-caused
recorded history,
change.
Buddy.
The White House is calling on Israel to investigate the death of an American citizen in the occupied West Bank today. Witnesses say the 26-year-old woman was shot by Israeli troops during an anti-settlement protest. Doctors say she was
I do hate that's actually it is incorrect to say human history. It is recorded history. That wasn't just like me being facetious. Like it is actually recorded history, which only goes back like 180 years, I think.
Someone was just watching Minuteman.
Is it, dude? That is a great fucking channel.
Oh, I love that channel.
It's such a good channel. Holy shit.
He's fucking great.
The critical thinking he exercises just as like a normality is very impressive. Like it's to do that it has to be natural. Like I don't think you can make hours long video.
Well, he is also going for a PhD in archaeology.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
That's a lot of times you'll see a lot of those really, really good informative channels like that. They're in they're like in class. Who was somebody we watched who did a PhD? And they're saying this was for their PhD.
Wasn't it the French girl?
No, it's like someone way back in the day.
I
don't know.
Oh, well.
Died in a hospital. In a statement, the IDF wrote that its forces, quote, responded
Statement
with
the
fire
IDF
toward a
said, "We're
main
cocks."
instigator of violent activity who hurled rocks.
Are you aware of a CIA psychological profile about you, sir? Would you be interested in hearing what the CIA had to say? This secret study portrays as a brilliant but dangerous megalomaniac who is likely to pursue his own aims in disregard of U.S. interests. He's an uncertain ally. Shall I go on, or would you prefer that I stop, sir?